Alright guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit similar but a little bit different. We're going to play some Famicom Disk System here, and we're going to play some ice hockey. So let's see what this is like. This is the original ice hockey. I was wrong in the other video. That's not much of a surprise. This game actually came out in early 1988 in Japan, and it was not even near the beginning of the time for the Famicom Disk System, right? So this game came out, it was like January 88. The system itself came out sometime in 86. I'm just going to keep the speed like that. We're going to play a little bit slower than we have in the past, and we'll just use that. I don't know if we have to actually change sides for the system for this game. I don't think that we do, but we'll see. And the music's different. So the B button shoots and the A button either like passes or it like has you like stand there and do whatever. Anyway, the nice thing about ice hockey is that it's so easy to like get to know the controls. The thing that they did about this game that works so well is I'm so used to playing oh shoot. The thing that they did for this game that works so well is the animation of this game is really, really smooth. Like, it's really, really easy to sit down and just play. And at least if you're playing this slow, like, you can figure out like what you're doing, where you're going and stuff. There we go. I thought we were gonna get to this eventually. Oh, so I get called for the penalty. Anyway, this is the most fun part of this game. Oh, you're gonna call me for the penalty again? There is no justice in this world. I want to see us try the face-off with nobody. Anyway, the other problem here that you can see is that the A button is pass, but the B button on defense changes the player. So it becomes like you're like hammering one of the buttons when you don't want to, and I mean that's the problem, right? Like you want the button to change player on defense to be the same as the button for passing. Oh yeah, there we go. Anyway, I think that the Famicom version, the FDS version music is actually better than the NES version. One of the things you have to remember though is that the sound chips were different, so the Famicom Disk System was capable of making a bunch of sounds and stuff that the NES actually couldn't make. All right, there you go. And then we glitch around and go around in circles. Anyway, like I said with the other version, this is probably the classic hockey game. Like, Slapshot on the Sega Master System is not an awful game, but like compared to this one, it's got nothing. I mean, this game is just so much better. It's so much more fun just in general. I don't know though if I could actually like stomach playing it multiple times in a row if I were gonna do like a project with it or something like that. Probably not. This is more of a like, you have a couple minutes to kill, why don't you play this game for fun type thing. And when you're talking about like what is it that makes this game good and fun, the big thing, it's not so much like the players you choose from or whatever, right? Because there are no actual players in this game. It doesn't really matter what the teams are and stuff. It's that, you know, this is a game that has at least some sort of replay value because there are different ways you can play it, and also that this is a game that I mean, it's just a lot of fun. There's a lot of like sort of wacky Nintendo stuff going on here, right? So like, you got like the big old guy, and you know, like people are like bouncing off of him and stuff, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's fun in that sense. Or you know, you can hold down the button and shoot a slap shot like that, and you know, it's cool. Like there's all sorts of like different stuff that you can do with this game. Whoops. Why did I do that? But the other thing that differentiates this game from Slapshot is the fact that, like, oh wow, that's a nice shot. It's the fact that, like, when you push the button to do something, it does what you think it's going to do, right? There's none of this, like, there's no, like, weird physics going on. There are no, like, you know, passes that are, like, teleported from one place to the next, right? It's like, if you're in a certain position, you push, you know, like, the B button or whatever, you know exactly what it's going to do, and it's going to do the same thing pretty much every time, no matter what's going on, unless you, like, somehow suddenly get the puck or something like that. Right, there we go. Now, what I don't remember about this game is if this game, I know that this game had a Versus arcade version, but I don't know if it had like an actual like other type arcade version. I don't know, I can go look it up and see. But yeah, we could always play the Versus arcade version. Or is it Versus though? I think it might be Play Choice 10. I don't know, I have to go look it up. So like the thing is that the Play Choice 10 games are just NES carts, basically. What you want are the ones that are actual, like, more like arcade machines. That's where you'll see, like, differences. Anyway, whatever. I'll do some research, see what we have to choose from. Oh, yeah. All right, Zamboni time. Yeah, I don't think that this is a game that requires you to change the side of the disc at all. So that's pretty good. That means it's a little bit easier and faster to play. But that also tells you just how small the actual game data is. So the reason why Nintendo came up with the Famicom Disk System, the reason why it was popular is because programmers could put more information out there for a game. You could put like more code, and that meant that you can make games that can do things that were a little bit more complicated. But like a game like this, like there's no real reason for this to be on the Famicom Disk System. I mean, really, there's no benefit you get from making this an FDS game. There's a couple of other cool things that happen too. If you look really closely, for example, when you change players, as soon as you, on defense, as soon as you get a hold of the new guy, like he puts like his hand up in the air or something like that, like he's ready to fight or something. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's all pretty good. Oh, I forgot there's icing in this game too. That's the first time we've seen that. Anyway, I think that there's also like a Game Boy port for this game, so maybe we can check that out one of these days. I was looking the other day, or earlier today I should say, at Blades of Steel on the Game Boy, which is definitely a different game. So the big debate on the NES is among hockey games is whether this game is better than Blades of Steel, and I would argue that both of the games actually have their strong points and that they're like slightly different. I don't know that there are any differences between the teams in Blades of Steel. Here for this game there are, I think, but still, like, the real difference that's important is the size of your player, and you can give yourself a disadvantage depending upon like how you tend to play and what you want to do with it. So like if you you know are used to like the big bruiser type players, you can give yourself nothing but small guys, and if you're used to playing with players that are fast, you can give yourself nothing but the big guys, you know. The one thing about this game that's difficult is stuff like that where, you know, you need to have control over your goalie, and it's kind of hard because you're trying to control a guy like in the middle of the ice at the same time. Even still though, it's not really that bad. Like, you get used to it after a while. Even like these shrimpy guys, you can figure out ways to score goals with them. You just have to, you know, be kind of creative. And then the other major advantage this game has, as you can tell, is that it's over pretty quickly. Like, it's the sort of game that, like, you only have a couple minutes or whatever to play it, and then by the time you finally figure out what you're doing, the game's over. And then once the game's over, you're like, oh, that was a lot of fun, I want to go play it again, you know, so. Oh yeah. The other problem with this game is that it gets to be a little bit easy after a while when, you know, you're scoring tons of goals like that for fun and you just sort of wait for the goalie to get out of your way and then you knock it home. This, though, is an absolutely amazing two-player game. I personally think this is actually a better two-player game than Blades of Steel. But it sort of depends on your opinion, right? Everybody will have their own opinion. Regardless, I mean, both of these games, Ice Hockey and Blades of Steel, are among the best games of all time, I think, in terms of hockey games, just in terms of like total fun and stuff like that. I think what we'll do tomorrow, assuming that I have enough time to make a video, and I probably should, is I think we'll play some Blades of Steel on the Famicom Disk System. So that game is called Canonic Hockey. And it's the same as the NES version, but, you know, we can play it anyway, sort of check it out, see if there are any differences or anything like that. So anyway, there you go. That was Ice Hockey on the Famicom Disk System. So now you know what you're missing out on. The only real difference is the music, and that's about it. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.